them to the next round. So.
Yeah, I understand.
That's how it works. Rich, I'm hoping this is going to be quick, so carry on.
Arne, how do you reflect on that today? I mean, you needed a point to get Champions League football. You got a point.
Yeah, and again, we didn't get what we deserved. So that's a common theme this season. We deserve to win. Although in the 100th minute we could have even lost it, and so many times this season we've seen that before, that we were getting chances to make the winner, get chance to make the winner, get chance to make the winner, and then in the 100th minute or the 10th minute of extra time, they got a serious chance, the header. And this time it didn't go in. So many times this season it did go in. So I think it was another game that looked similar to all other games we've played. I think it took them 40 minutes before they arrived in our 18-yard box for the first time. Maybe I'm exaggerating it a little bit, but we completely dominated the first half. But then after a throw-in, they got their first big chance. And yeah, set pieces is another theme where we spoke about a lot this season.
The season as a whole, I mean, 5th place, 60 points in the Champions League. What's your verdict on the campaign as a whole?
We came here today to do the minimum, and that's the minimum required, and that's qualifying for Champions League. As you see when you take a look at the league table, big clubs are not able to qualify for Champions League or in Europe. Big clubs have not been able to qualify for Europe in the last few seasons in this league, so we can never take it for granted, but it's clear and obvious that we wanted more. But I'm really proud of the players, what they've done this season, because it's been a very, 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 very tough season for us with all the things we have had to experience, with all the injuries, and I can come up with all the things we had to go through. But if this in the end then is the minimum for us, qualifying Champions League 5th place, then and going out in the FA Cup against the winners, after losing an away game to Man City, which so many teams do. Losing against Paris Saint-Germain for the 2nd year in a row, where no team in the last 2 years were able to beat them over 2 games. Over 1 game, Chelsea, of course, in the Club World Cup, and maybe Arsenal now in the final, but over 2 games, not one team has been able to do so. So yeah, not what I would have loved us to achieve this season before we started. But taking everything into account, what has happened to us this season, I'm today happy that we've qualified for Champions League.
Mo?
Arne, what did you make of the stand-up from the supporters of the match?
Yeah, brilliant, as always, as what you can expect from our fans. So they completely got what they deserved. 2 legends that in the last 9 years won 9 trophies over here. So yeah, for them it must have been a special day, a difficult day probably as well, but definitely also a special day, and the fans made it special for them as well. So I think I've said it many times, this club knows how to celebrate a league title. This club knows how to handle tragedies, and this club definitely also knows how to celebrate. Oh, how do you say this? Celebrate these 2 players.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, what Matt?
Sorry, Arne, as you do like your review of the season, is there anything you would look back and say that you might have done differently if you could have?
Oh yeah, many things. Yeah, many things. Yeah, I haven't been perfect, but I can tell I would have answered this question exactly the same in the year we won the league, because as your manager you can never be perfect, a player can never be perfect. But all the decisions I've made throughout the whole season has been only with one idea, and that is being very well prepared. So all the decisions I made were never made from, I haven't had time, let's make a decision like this. No, I thought about it really well. And as you know, not every decision can be the right one. So it would be stupid for me to sit here and say all the decisions I made were the right ones. But before I made them, it every time felt they were the right ones to make. And but a lot of times I didn't even had to make decisions or choices, because This was maybe the first time this season that there were no academy players on our bench. And that has been an exception. So if you ask me one word to describe this season, I would describe that with the word injury.
Thank you.